Hello, George, Fat Ninja Food Forest. I'm George. We're at Fat Ninja Food Forest. Getting ready for market today. I do a Friday market just down the road here in East Asheville. One of the things we sell is I talk about my composting systems, these regular composting systems. And it's as simple as this. I sell these bins. You can do with any bin. We have multiple different ways. I show the videos of the way I breed them and everything else. But for years, I just did this. There's this larger one here, the 27 gallon. There's also a 9 gallon. And all I've done is drill holes all the way around this. So there's holes all the way around, a third to halfway up, and in the bottom. I've done that with both bins. So now one fits inside the other one. You shouldn't get any leachate at the bottom that you don't want to use it. That means you're getting too wet, but it will stop any worms from coming out, or if there is moisture coming out. So you put it inside under a sink or in your garage. Fits in there nicely. And what we do is we fill that full of these castings. We'll have a look at in a minute. So I start with the bedding. I sell a whole system, which comes with the castings themselves that are full of eggs. It's been one of my breeding systems. It's been going for about 3 weeks. It's a 28-day gestation period for the eggs. So there'll be close to 1,000 eggs in here and 500 to 600 worms. That's great for one of the smaller ones. For one of these larger ones, I do twice that. When you're composting with worms, you want about a pound of worms. That's 1,000 worms per square foot. That's just over a square foot. So starting with 500 to 600 worms, but having 1,000, they're going to hatch into at least around 4 worms a piece on average. It really gives the system a head start once you get going, a real jump start. So anyways, we dump those in there. We'd have the castings and the worms in the bottom. We'd feed our food scraps. Once it's full about halfway, we'd add this one to it and start feeding it from the top here. Putting our food scraps in here and a little carbon to cover it for smell. Make sure there's no smell. Carbon, nitrogen, or nitrogen, carbon. As the food source runs out in the bottom bin and they run out, they're going to smell that food, sense that food in the top, and they're going to work their way through these holes in a self-harvesting system. So those worms come up, harvest themselves. You remove the bottom bin, harvest these castings, use them in whatever way you want. We'll talk about that. And set it back in after it's time and start filling the top one again. So just simply repeating that process over and over as we harvest them. I left one end undrilled on this because I want to talk about the process. Just so if you do it, you don't end up with any scrapes or scratches. It's as simple as using, I think I have an 1/8-inch drill bit, an 1/8, 3/16, somewhere in there. They're real small worms. I've gone 2 rows, plus all over the bottom. I use the low spots, the high spots. They can use the low spots to escape into the other bin. I don't know if that matters. So simply drilling holes through here. More in the middle for good luck. A little high with those. What we'll have is we'll have a little bit of shards on the inside. They're sharp. So you can see those or not. So I just take a chisel and they come off very easy. I normally do it on top of something so the plastic shards don't fall off. Simply just like that. And they come off. You can do that over something. We don't want those plastic pieces on the ground like that. Again, there's the 27 double bin, 9 to 7 gallon double bin. And then we have these worms. So here we can see these eggs all over the top. They're just all over the place here. Lots and lots of worms getting ready to hatch. There's over 1,000 per bin probably. Down underneath that, we're going to see a ton of worms and a lot more eggs. So by adding that to one of these systems, it's ready to go. It has that soil food web, the bacteria and fungi, the decomposers, up through the protozoa, the flagellates, and the shelled amoebas, the nematodes, some, what else am I looking for? Small spiders, the arthropods, microarthropods. I'm blank there, camera. So anyways, that's what we sell. We sell castings, we sell worms, or we sell complete systems. When someone wants to buy worms from me, I quite often just push one of these breeding bins. You can make your own bin, but I sell the whole system. So for the same price as 1,000 worms, I'm going to give you 500 to 600 worms like we see here, and all these eggs. They're about ready to hatch. Within a month or two, they're going to be of a size comparable to the ones that are in there. Within 3 months, they'll be full size, and you're going to have a complete composting system for the same price as getting 1,000 worms, which I don't mind. It's just harder for me to separate. I don't do that many that way. I have to separate those worms, and if you don't have a bin going already, you don't have all those bacteria, fungi, nematodes, protozoa in there. And they're the ones that are really breaking down the food. The worms don't have teeth. It's the micro life, those microbes that are in there, breaking that food down in a soluble form for plants and for these worms to get to it. So if that makes sense, hope I didn't go on too much. These are our composting systems. We sell worms, compost, breeding systems, or the complete package, which all comes in one of these bins. The 7-gallon is, geez, I gotta check my price. I believe 45 and 65. Change to be right on a holiday. I'm George, Fat Ninja Food Forest. Peace.